So my question is it necessary to add our interest or hobbies to our resume?
Okay, so this is the question which is a good question due to two reasons. One, a lot of times we put interest and hobbies in the resume because we think that when I showcase that I have this interest or hobby, maybe the recruiter or the company person will be very impressed. It's important when you put an interest and a hobby that you focus only on hobbies and not interests, right? Because interest means that it's a passing interest and people are not really interested in knowing more about it. But however, if you say your hobby is gardening, if you say your hobby is photography, it's good for you to know and have done a lot of things as a hobby, because hobby is a passion where you have taken up an interest and you're doing something about it every weekend or any time that you're free. So if you say music is a hobby, are you a musician? Or are you somebody who follows music of a particular director and you know all the music that's been released, right? Then if you put, say, the music of A.R. Rahman and you know a lot of details and information about it, how he orchestrates the music and doing all of that, then it's a hobby. If you say reading and in the interview they ask you what do you read and you're not able to mention anything specific. So if you say reading newspapers is a hobby, 100% the interview panel, they will ask you what did you read in the newspaper yesterday, the last week and last month and last year which caught your attention. Because you've mentioned that reading newspapers is a hobby. They'll also ask you what are the newspapers you read, what information, what are the different segments in the newspaper, right? So it's great if as a business management student you tell somebody that I read the Economic Times. But if you don't have enough follow-up information to give them, then it looks like you've just mentioned it and it's not genuine or authentic what you mentioned. So please mention hobbies that you are actually interested in and you're following up. So if you say riding on my bike for long distances is a hobby, of course it can be mentioned as, visit heritage biking, or you give a very specific fancy word which is there today, right? You should be able to talk extensively about the routes, about the bike, about the performance. They might ask you questions about the mileage, because there are people who extensively bike ride as part of Enfield groups and all of that. So if you're joining a two-wheeler company which has clubs like this, and if you are somebody who goes on those drives, it would be a great opportunity for you to use that to translate into an employment at Royal Enfield, or with one of these super bikes that are there, because they all have. Harley has a club, right? I'm sure all of you are aware of it who ride bikes, and Harley Davidson also has a motorbiking club. So it would be very relevant from that point. So if you have a hobby, please mention it. Otherwise, it's okay to not mention that category at all in your resume. Thank you for your question.